Hello, welcome back to the Spot On Jaguars podcast, brought to you by Teal Reign, where we bring you year-round interviews and discussions about the home team and all things Duval. So let's get started. Hit that like and subscribe button. Big thank you to those who already have, and let's get going. Today we're going to be doing an AFC South preview. We're going to talk a little bit about the Cam Robinson suspension, and then we're going to be doing a giveaway at the very end, so stick around and let's get started. Back again with Jeff and Ben, the panel today. Talking about Cam Robinson first. So the suspension was announced. It was going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 games. His first offense, he ended up getting 4 games, which is the best news that we could have hoped for. But it does come with a little bit of a caveat because that's right around the time or the exact time that we're going to be in starting the 2 games in London. So, and I think, Ben, what was it? He isn't allowed to practice or travel with the team until after the Atlanta game.
Yep, October 2nd. That Monday he can start practicing, but they'll already be in London.
So they'll already be in London. So I guess is he going to have to fly private or something to get over there? And
I haven't heard anything about that, anything concrete about that. There's been people kind of going back and forth, not sure, but we'll get more information, I'm sure, as we get closer to it. So he'll practice, assuming on his own, just to be in shape, ready to go, and then potentially either the team. I would think that. Do you think that the team would shell out the money to have their starting tackle come out to London, fly him,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
And that's going to leave us thin at the tackle position for the first 4 games, which is all important. Keeping Trevor upright is the most important thing. Ben, talk about that. What are we looking at for the tackle position starting the year?
So Anton Harrison, they've already said he's going to be the right tackle, and Walker Little will be the starting left tackle. Now, he has experience under his belt. He has backed up Juwan Taylor and Cam last year due to injuries when they were injured, and he played pretty well. I thought he played well down the stretch. By the numbers, most of his snaps came at left tackle. He gave up 2 sacks, 13 hurries across 369 regular and postseason snaps last year. Now, your boys, PFF, don't rank him very high. They had him at like the 47th ranked tackle. But by most people's accounts, he did pretty well, and the coaching staff seems to like him. So he'll be at the left tackle, and then they got Josh Wells backing him up. I mean, we're super thin. That's the only scary thing. I'm going to be praying over the offensive line.
We all know about Anton. We all know about Walker Little. Tell us about Josh Wells. Tell us, we know anything about him?
Well, he's with us before. He's a swing tackle. He can kind of fill in wherever he needs to. Not a great player, by all accounts, but he's got some versatility. Like I said, he was here before, and we brought him back, and it was a good signing because now we really need him.
All right, get in here, Jeff. Talk about Cam Robinson. What's it going to be like flying over to London to get up with the team after the 4th game, starting in London, no practice, no preseason games, starting cold. What do you think?
Going against the Bills. Here's one thing I want to say: the 4-game suspension is amazing. It could have been 8,
best
could
we
have
could
been
hope
6,
for. Best we could hope for.
4. I take that all day.
And he's going to lose now. He's going to lose $4 million in salary now.
As long as they're not taking my money, I don't really care. And also the first 4 games, there was only one really tough game that puts the Cam not being there in effect.
Kansas City.
Exactly. And now him flying over, I'm sure he's going to be practicing his own stuff, working, and it's going to get some Bills. I'm really not that concerned.
These guys
about
are
it.
He's a professional.
Yeah,
but not only that,
he's a veteran. He will be in shape.
He's allowed to participate in all the preseason.
Correct.
He can be in the preseason games. He can practice in the. He can participate in all the preseason practices.
Be in football shape, conditioning.
Exactly. He's going to be with the team. It's just once the regular season starts, he's out.
And I'm sure he's very highly disappointed, and he is going to be working his tail off because he knows how much this team has riding this year. Because after last season coming into this season, he's going to be ready to go. In my personal opinion.
Keep in mind his pedigree. He's used to winning. He's a winner. So that's what it is.
Exactly.
And he'll be. I have confidence that he'll be ready to go once he gets back in there. So
do you have? What do you think about Walker Little? I mean, do you think you confident with him?
Well, so the spotlight didn't start on him last year, right? We had Jawan Taylor, we had Cam Robinson, and he filled in and he exceeded expectations to, every degree. And now that the spotlight is on him, it's now, how's he going to do under the pressure? How's he going to do when it's on his shoulders? There's no backup plan. There's no fail safe. He's in the spotlight, and I kind of want to see it. I'm interested. I want to see how he reacts. And yeah, I think he's that guy. I think he's going to do it.
And you said he was ranked 47th.
Yeah, tackles by PFF, but
That's
I don't
Pro
know.
Football Focus.
But to me, that's not your backup.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
They drafted him to be an eventual starter, but it's no, they rank overall. They rank our offensive line low. They're pretty tough on them, and the Jaguars. I've heard some of the coaches talk, and obviously they're not going to badmouth their team, but they're pretty confident. They feel like last year they played well, and they feel like they're in a good position this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So overall, I guess the consensus is that we're happy that it's a 4-game suspension. That's the least amount of time it could be, and we all wish that it was 0 games, but that's
Right.
not the case. We're working with what we have, and that's 4 games. So he will be back in time for the London swing, the 2 games there, and
The 1 game there.
1 game.
Because they'll already be there. He's going to miss the first game versus the Falcons.
So he's
there,
traveling
but he's
over
gonna
right
be there
after
for-
the Falcons.
Well, we want him there for the Bills because the Bills have some good pass rushers.
Yeah.
Kansas City, we really need him for the Bills, I think. And I'm not like diminishing the other teams, especially some of the like playing the Colts. It's a rivalry game and everything. But the Kansas City, I think, sacked Trevor 7 times in the 2 games that we played. I think it was 5 in the first game and 2 in the second one. Now, I would have to go back and look at film. I don't know if it was all edge or if they were blitzing or where all the sacks came from. But offensive line works as a unit. So if you have one weak link, maybe that guy doesn't get the sack, but because they're so much attention is somewhere else, another guy can get a sack. So you just want to be at full strength.
right, and at the end of the day, you want your best players on the field, and Cam's absolutely one of the best players. So I think that goes without being said, and we'll be happy to get him back when we do.
Do you think he's here long term? General consensus is that they'll cut ties with him. Obviously, so they voided the suspension. It voided his guaranteed money. If they wanted to cut ties with him, they could, but I don't think anybody thinks they would do that. But like after this year, a lot can happen. But
I can tell you this: I sure hope not.
Yeah.
I want the best offensive line in the NFL up front behind with Trevor Lawrence behind that offensive line. I want the best players we can put out there. I don't think that's where you save money. I don't think that's where you.
I agree.
And this might be you got to put this in retrospect. What he knows, losing the money, and what you just said, he might show up and be like another Cam. Mm-hmm. Like this might motivate him to because he knows where this team is going.
He had that feeling of not having it,
Yeah.
and then knowing what he could be missing out on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
and
think
then
about
it could change him. Like he could become a
Think about the potential of this team. This team has more aspirations than making the playoffs, more aspirations than winning the division. So
100%.
That goes to show you that these guys want to win. These guys want to play. These guys worked their ass off last year, and it's time to get the rewards from all that work.
And look at Kansas City. I mean, look how much money they just spent on Juwan. O-line, everybody knows. I mean, O-line is it's not a sexy position, but it's absolutely essential to keep Trevor upright and give him time to utilize all the weapons we got.
Yep.
100%.
All right. After Cam, we're gonna talk a little about the AFC South. Getting right into that. So other teams in the division: the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans. Obviously, Jaguars won the division last year. It was the week 18 now versus the Titans. They won it. Titans had a backup quarterback playing Josh Dobbs. Jaguars won the game, and then obviously went to the playoffs. We know what happened there. So coming into this year, all 3 teams are going to have new quarterbacks behind center. All 3 teams looking to upgrade. All 3 teams looking to climb the mountaintop. And now the Jaguars are the big boy in the division. And first, talk about, Ben, the difference between being the underdog team that's trying to rise up and climb to the mountaintop, getting to the playoffs, or now this year being at the top of the division. Everyone's expecting him to run away with the division. Las Vegas commentators, announcers, everybody expecting the Jaguars to run away with the division. And now having that target on their back, meaning if you're not playing for anything, if you are a Houston, if you are Indianapolis, and you're out of the playoffs, let's say, This is your Super Bowl. Knocking off the Jaguars, this is your pinnacle of your season, and you're going to get the best game from all these teams. Ben, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't think we have to look any further than 2018. We come off a year where we should have been in the Super Bowl, and we had
Miles Jack wasn't down.
What's that?
Miles Jack wasn't down.
He was not. And, you know, we came in with all these expectations, and it was a disaster more or less, and it was the beginning of the end. Now it's a different everything, different a lot of things. I mean, I have a lot of we didn't have Trevor then, and I mean I love Blake, but we got a legit MVP candidate in Trevor Lawrence coming into this. But we're going to get everybody's best shot, and like with the Titans. I was there in '99 on the 50-yard line, okay? You don't have to tell me anything about the Titans. I mean, I know this is a totally different year, totally different team every year, but last year I know injuries kind of played a big factor in their implosion, but it's what?
Too soon.
They were right there with us with a chance to win. They had a chance to win the division, just like us, with all their injuries that they had. It took them going on a 7-game skid, and for us to be able to get in there and take it. So they're going to come back. They want to beat us, just like always. They got a good coach. They still have some good players. You got Tannehill and Derrick Henry are the two best offensive weapons. Again, they're aging, but they got another run in them. They really didn't improve their wide receiver position a whole lot, which was kind of their biggest,
Which I was kind of shocked by that.
Okay, so staying with the Titans real quick. So they drafted Will Levis. They have Ryan Tannehill on the roster, and last year they had picked up Malik Willis in the 3rd round. So they have quarterback questions. We know that. They have Vrabel, the head coach. We all agree he's a good head coach. Obviously, the lineage coming from the Patriots and all that. They obviously lost A.J. Brown, receiver. Lost him to Philadelphia. Never quite were the same offense after that. And then we saw what Philly did last year.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, that seemed to be a mistake. But they added Jaguar, Arden Key.
I was upset about that.
Benedict Arden.
Yeah, Benedict Arden. So talk a little bit about the Titans, Jeff. What do you think? Will Levis, Malik Willis, Ryan Tannehill. Who do you think gets the nod?
Well, let's be real here. They drafted Will because his girlfriend's smoking hot. That's only reason.
Clearly,
he got drafted. Okay,
Clearly.
I actually know Tannehill will get the start. Will come in later.
I hope Will Levis gets the start.
I just want to see his girlfriend in the crowd.
God,
but and it made me feel so good when you were talking earlier and you said we won the division playing the Titans. I just had this
nice.
came back and I had a
it.
flashback of going, oh man, that was.
All right, let's move on to the Colts for a second. New head coach this year, added in free agency Gardner Minshew and Taven Bryan, a couple ex-Jaguars, but their big acquisition was in the draft. Anthony Richardson. Jeff, this is your neck of the woods. Let's talk about Florida Gator Anthony Richardson. What do you think? Give me a prediction for his career arc in the NFL.
Anthony, okay, so stats-wise, not good in college, but a phenomenal player. Like, he has all the abilities. And kind of reminds me a little bit of Lamar Jackson, a little bit. And I think they'll be able to make him
bigger, stronger.
He'll be better than he ever was in college. And I think Gardner's going to get the start, but Anthony is such a freak.
And you got to remember the combine. He blew out every single.
I mean, that's just impressive.
Speed, jumping, agility, athleticism, everything.
As long as he stays healthy, I think they'll fine tune his passing, and I think he's actually going to be a freak at quarterback in danger for us to come. I mean, I don't like it, even though I'm a Gator fan. He's going to be dangerous, and that's my opinion. I think he's going to be an absolute threat.
The potential that he has is scary, and I really kind of hope he starts over Minshew though to start, because I think while he has the potential, I think it's going to take some time to realize that. I mean, most quarterbacks, look at Trevor, the can't miss guy that he went through his struggles. So the first game of the season, to have to play Gardner Minshew, who's, he's going to have that little extra motivation to come out. So I think Richardson's going to be – I think he's going to be a good player, but it's going to take some time because I still have a lot of questions marks. His accuracy.
Well, I agreed with the accuracy. Yeah. And I hope Anthony starts because I don't – it's going to be hard to cheer for Gardner and the Jags at the same time.
Well, and then one more thing. That a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback's best friend is a strong running game. They have Jonathan Taylor. They had a good offensive line with the injuries. They were decimated last year, but we're expecting that to return. Their defense was fast. They still have that fast defense. So they're not going to be this is going to be a pushover game. They're going to walk through Indianapolis. And like I said, Anthony Richardson, he can – what he reminds me of with the athleticism, the speed, obviously the Cam Newton comparisons and all that. But, remember Ben Roethlisberger where you couldn't sack him? Mm-hmm. Because he was bigger than your guy.
Big dude.
Bounce off of him.
And he could bounce off him. Well, this guy, not only is he big, he's fast. He can move. So, he could buy time for his receivers. He could actually get it done. And it is scary. It's a scary proposition to see him across the line when you're lining up against him. And he can win a game all by himself.
A lot of times when you have those mobile quarterbacks, especially while they're trying to figure out, it's kind of like a loose cannon. The teams are going to – they'll try to bait him into making mistakes and things like that, but then they can, on a busted play, they can get out and run 50 yards. And
that's one where the coach and the coordinator's like, no. Yes. You make something happen.
And this is where the Gators messed up with him. They let Anthony be Anthony against the Utah game. Then against Kentucky, they tried to contain him and not let him run like he does, and we lost that game. They tried to make him you let Anthony be Anthony. If the Colts let Anthony be Anthony with that freak athleticism, that's dangerous.
All right, and then let's talk about the Texans for a little bit now. Obviously, huge draft for them with C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr., mega draft picks. Everyone agrees that they smoked the draft. They did really good there. But then there's some free agency. They had a lot. They went all in. They had Dalton Schultz at tight end, Robert Woods receiver, Sheldon Rankins, Shaq Mason with Noah Brown and Case Keenum. They actually have made moves to try to be good this coming year. They're not going to try to. The Jaguars were going to develop with Trevor. They're going in. They think they're going to make a run today.
I'm conflicted. With the Texans, I think if Stroud comes in and does his thing, I think they could make a little bit of noise. I mean, I kind of debated between, and I know we'll talk about it in a second, where we think everybody's going to finish the season. But I kind of debated between them and Indy. Because I think if Stroud comes in and is a fast learner with some of the other pieces they added, I think they could give us some problems.
Jeff, talk about C.J. Stroud. Now, the question that was the question mark going in. Is he worthy of the number one overall pick? What's it going to be? Is it when the young quarterback, when they have wheels, when they have legs, when they can run around, they can actually get that learning curve. They can actually learn on the fly because they can move around and they can alter the defense, evade the pass rush, and make something happen. Make it easier for themselves. Something that a Trevor didn't have, right? Yeah. He can move a little bit, but not like this guy. Mm-hmm. So tell me about C.J. Stroud. What do you think?
To me, I don't think I think he's going to be a bust. That's my personal opinion.
Really?
I don't think he's going to be a
bust.
I think he's going to be a bust. I think he's going to be a mediocre quarterback. He's going to come in. He may be like an Alex Smith. Mm-hmm. Alex, he struggled a little bit, and then he really didn't start coming on until later in his career. That's what I think. And it doesn't even matter who, honestly, you put at quarterback. Texans always give us trouble. Always.
Yeah, I know you said last week you said that you picked them as the one loss that the Jaguars had in the division.
So, all right, so a couple parallels with the Jaguars. New head coach, D'Amico Ryans, new quarterback and first overall pick, Steve Stroud, and 2 first-round picks this year, the same as when the Jaguars drafted Trevor with 2 first-round picks. They're going to pick up Will Anderson, who is edge rusher, supposedly a can't-miss edge rusher out of Alabama, looking real good. So they're going to grow together. D'Amico Ryan, C.J. Stroud, and we're obviously going to see them twice a year going forward. I hope he's a bust, but I don't think I can get on board with that opinion. I think this guy's going to be good. So for years to come, and even if we could beat them or sweep them this year, I don't think it's going to be like that going forward. Ben. I think I am worried for the future. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a pushover team, and I absolutely don't think he's going to be a bust. Talk about the Texans, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game. I think D'Amico Ryans, he was kind of like a hot coaching prospect, and the fact that they drafted him, and he said that he didn't have any other. It was an easy decision. He's like, I'm going to the Texans. So it was a good hire. They have some pieces. Like I said, I mean, they've been kind of they were pretty depleted last year, and they were kind of the doormat and everything. And I think that with the new additions, I think that they're like I said, it goes back. I kind of feel like it all comes down to C.J. Stroud. Like if he picks it up, I think they could give people some trouble.
Once again, speaking of young quarterbacks with the running game, bright spot for the Texans last year, and the fantasy players will know Dameon Pierce was a bright spot for the Texans last year. He had that running game clicking, and he got injured. If he bounces back and comes back to what he showed us last year, then they're going to have that running game. And if you can get that running game going, it opens up the passing, especially for a young quarterback. And this quarterback is mobile, so that's a lot. You can't cover the whole field. You have to pick and choose. And if they get that running game going, then that's going to be a problem. That's going to be trouble. So I actually like what the Texans have done. I like the moves they made, and getting the number 1 overall draft pick helps, and having 2 top 5 picks does help a lot. But I think that they spent some money in free agency. They're going all in. They're making their play today. They're not going to wait for the future.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, building for the future. They got young pieces, and so going all in. They'll be closer to, like, at some point down the road, they'll add some more pieces here and there. But like a good young foundation, I think they could be dangerous.
Okay, so now that we've gotten the teams, let's go through our predictions first through last. I think we all agree the Jaguars are the cream of the crop in this division. That's pretty easy to say. Who do you got second, third, and fourth? I'll start with Ben.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. It reminds me of Larry Bird. There was a famous story of him. He walked into the All-Star game and looked around and for the 3-point shootout. And he looked around and he said, which one of y'all are coming in second?
Who's playing for second?
Who's playing for second? So definitely have the Jags first. But I'll say this. We all picked them last week, even said that we thought that they would win the division. We had just kind of mentioned it. I had them losing 1 game. I think you had them losing 1 game. I don't know what you said. I know you had them winning 12 games, I think, overall.
I think
but
it's going to be big.
Division-wise, I think we're the favorite. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I mean, again, the Titans are the Titans. Even though we got the exorcist, in Trevor Lawrence, and he kind of exercised some of those demons, or the team exercised some of those Jags-Titans demons last year. I still think those are going to be tough games. I think Indy, I think Anthony Richardson is just a huge wild card. I mean, I personally think he's going to be, a good player. But even at Florida, when I would watch him play, it just was so hard to get a beat on it, because it was like sometimes when I thought he could run, he wouldn't run, and then sometimes where he would look lights out passing the ball, another time there was inconsistencies. So we'll see what Anthony Richardson we get for the year. So I have the way I have it, I got us first, I got the Titans second, and then I got Indy coming in third with the Texans last.
Texans last.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's again those last two I flip flop.
My prediction. That was my prediction.
But I had it in my head
you're going
also.
The exact same.
Yep.
All right, and I
no, you know what? Forget it. I'm on the record. I don't want to agree with that.
No. You already did it.
I'm not bringing myself down to his level.
It's recorded.
That's
a really small level.
Let me.
That was a short joke. So all right. Officially, I'm on record. I got Jags 1. I got the Titans 2, and then I got.
It's the Colts.
Well, I tell you what. During the bye week, when the Jaguars,
Wait, what did you have?
Exactly what I was telling you.
I got Houston 3 and the Colts last.
I tell you what. During the Jaguars bye week, going into the playoffs, because they'll be the 1 seed, we'll look back on this and we'll go through your predictions.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the Texans they're just too young.
Yeah,
they're just too young.
And speaking to that, the Texans being too young, so NFL roster's 53 men. They were the number 1 overall draft pick because they were the worst team in the NFL because they don't have the roster fill out. 2, 3, 4 guys doesn't make. If you have deficiencies in your roster, they're going to find and exploit that. This league is just too competitive. They're just too good. The talent's just there. You're not going to be able to run with if you don't have guys that can compete. Even teams that are front starter heavy and don't have backups throughout the year, they start faltering, and and I just don't think Houston has the horses right now to compete. Now, do I like the moves they made? Yes. Do I think that these guys are going to going forward are going to be yes. But I don't think they can. Now, saying that, Tennessee is coming off a season where they do have that. They do have talent. They do have rosters, but they do have a good defense. We expect Derrick Henry
They're
to
just
have.
getting old.
They're just
Right.
getting old.
But for this year.
But for this year coming up, I still think they can compete. Obviously, they had the quarterback injury last year. And what will they do at quarterback this year? They have 3 options, I guess. It looks like it's going to be 2, but supposedly 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So I think Tennessee will be second. Indy's going to have that running game. We know Jonathan Taylor's going to be there. We know, you're right. Richardson is a wild card. We don't know what he's going to be. But I think their defense, like I said,
What do you think about Richardson?
I don't think his completion percentage is high enough to play in the NFL. I just don't think so. I mean, that stat's just too important to that position. And he completes in the high 50, 58, 59% range in college. That would be the worst completion percentage of any NFL starting quarterback if he did that today. So he has to get that up. Now, can guys work on that? Yes.
But can't that be coaching, though?
It could be, but while we're on record,
Jalen Hurts, to his credit, was that same exact quarterback at Alabama, goes to Oklahoma, gets that completion percentage a lot higher. He's a much better passer, and now he's a Super Bowl starting quarterback on an elite team. Like, that's just like, can he do it? Yes, he can do it. Can that be coached? To a degree, it can be coached. And there were guys with accuracy problems going back to Brett Favre as a rookie at accuracy problems. You can coach that up. So can he turn it around? Absolutely. Do I know him? I don't know what he'll do, but in this division, I hope not. But yeah, that completion percentage has got to come up. So saying that, I'm going to go Tennessee, Jaguars first, obviously. Tennessee second. I'm going Indy third, mainly because of the running into defense, and Houston last, not because I don't like their players and their moves, but because they don't have they're going to need another year to fill that roster out. They didn't have 10 NFL starters on that roster last year, and they're trying to get that number up, and I think they're coming. I just think they're a year away still, and I think they will finish last.
Damn, did we just all agree?
No, stop.
I switched it up.
We just no.
Yes,
no,
I did.
No.
If we all
have
agree,
the same one.
I think I have to quit the show. I don't know.
We're done, people.
All right. So we're gonna. So I guess we all agree. So maybe we don't have to come back and look at that. No, Ben did switch it up. So Ben switched it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it up.
He swapped his third and fourth.
Yeah. So
Texans third.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. But we all do agree the most important part: Jacksonville Jaguars going to win the
100%.
That's right.
All right, we'll take it.
And this is actually, to me, in my opinion, we would always be intimidated by the Titans and Derrick Henry, and we're not anymore.
Yep.
And it showed the last season how we hit him, and he'd fumble the ball, and we're not intimidated by it anymore. And I think we actually own the Titans.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say it on record. I think we own them now. They don't even scare us.
I still got a little Titans PTSD going, but
I agree. I agree.
It was
Jeff Fisher's not the coach though, so we're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
It's been more than Jeff Fisher, but
that's the only year I think of. 3 losses,
bro. Oh yeah. 1999 was that, bro. We had I think we had the best team, and then they just had our number, kind of like we've had Pittsburgh and some of these other teams' numbers, even when they were the better team, and we had them. But there's been a lot. I mean, Mariota killing us and Derrick Henry killing us, and
I still hate the Titans.
But that's
love the city, but hate the Titans.
Yeah.
I want to put on my tombstone. He never went to Nashville. Just put that on my grave.
Okay, you got it.
I'll never know if I love that city. All right,
We'll take your ashes to Nashville. Actually,
you probably will. Moving right along, we got a big giveaway today, folks.
Yeah. So just first of all, thank you to everyone that tuned in. We got a lot of good feedback. Got some subscribers, followers, and a lot of people commenting. And there was a lot of unsolicited text messages like, "Hey, you guys." Did really good. Jeff came up a little short, but overall it was a really good
story of my life.
Keep it going. We take all compliments.
Y'all already know I'm sitting on books. Y'all already know that.
So we said last time we were going to pick our favorite comments and then draw a name. And, with it being the first one and we had a lot of good comments, so we put everybody in the hat and drew a name. And the winner of the first Spot On Jaguars giveaway is Miss, let me make sure I got the name right. Looks like Paulina Perez. Makeup by Paulina Perez. So that was kind of a curveball. I thought it was going to be a dude, but
no, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. We love the ladies on Spot On Jaguars. But then another curveball. So we had Paulina win the first giveaway, and then we had kind of a late entry that popped up after we had already drawn. And
is this my guy from Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just moved to
let me read to you the comment. All right, so it's the username Earth Noise. Awesome podcast. I'm a lifelong hardcore Broncos fan, just moved to Jax, and I'm so drawn to see the team do good and kind of see myself being a fan. So wanted to give this new pod a try, and y'all will definitely be a go-to for insight after games. So we love it.
Love it.
So you'll get
Welcome to Duval.
Yeah, you'll get something too. We'll reach out and get in contact with you.
Let's give him some Jags gear.
So we're gonna give him some Jags gear. So some of the giveaways we'll do all year. We'll do some T-shirts. We got some Jags tickets. We got gift cards with some of our partners we're working with. Some prints. Some of the drawings that I do. We'll have frame prints that we'll give out to you. Got a couple samples. So we got the official Spot On Jaguars T-shirt.
I like
with
it.
the logo. It looks nice. Jeff, I got one for you in a children's medium.
Y'all, this is why I drink on the show.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we got another sample here of the Reign.
I like that.
The Reign. It's the Jaguar chomping down on the raccoon, the Tennessee raccoon. So
there we go.
We got that, and then I got one example of one of the prints. We got our GOAT running back, Mr. Freddie T. And you send that out to some of the winners, and there'll be a variety of things that we give out throughout this venture.
Sounds
so
good.
again, hey, listen, thank you so much. It really means a lot. Everybody reaching out. If you like what you hear, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow us on all the social media platforms. And we can't say it enough. We want interaction.
Yep.
Make sure you leave us comments. You can even give us some critiques, whatever. We'll take it all. We want that interaction.
All right. That's going to do it today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hit that like and subscribe. Like you said, thanks for tuning in. Got a lot of big things planned for this season. Keep giveaways coming. More stuff to come.
Yeah, we got a lot coming. I mean, this is kind of the off season. We're easing into it a little bit, but once the season comes around, we're gonna be we got a couple extra smaller format shows that we'll be having some. I guess we'll go ahead and give you as a preview. We'll have a little. We got a degenerate gambler on our team over here, so he's gonna be going through all the betting lines and the favorites and picks. We'll have some fantasy stuff. We have a couple, experts that are going to come in and kind of break things down a little bit more as far as X's and O's go. And then we'll, of course, be following along through all the tailgates and, in-game footage and instant reactions after, all the wins this year. So it's going to be a good ride. So,
all right, that's it for today. Thank you again. Spot On Jaguars. See you next time. Jeff's got to be drunk by now.